Hi and welcome back. Now that everybody is thoroughly sick of turkey, let's go ahead and do something with the leftover meat. Now, if you're anything like me, you've already made your turkey stock, which I made in a short. And you have all this meat that you've picked off the bones. That carcass had this much meat. So if I don't use all of this up, I'm either going to freeze it for later in the year, which if you freeze something, it only lasts about a year in the freezer before you get freezer burn. If you can it, it can last 3 to 5 years. So I'm probably going to can some of this, but let's go ahead and make some spring rolls. Okay, first, what you want to do is you want to cut up some spring onions. I'm going to actually put this in with the meat. I don't like them raw, but I do like bell peppers raw. I have a little bit of ginger, some noodles, the meat, and I'm going to go ahead and put in some of my marinade that I used. It already still has garlic in there. I'm going to add more garlic, more soy sauce, and more honey. Not going to add any more butter to this. You also want to get some spring roll wrappers. This is rice wrappers. And they're actually pretty easy to use. It just takes some practice. Okay, let's go ahead and add our turkey. You want it the shredded turkey. If you have a breast like this, you want to, or a chunk like this, you want to break it up. It'll break up in here anyway. Double checking to make sure you got all the bones. See how dry it is? We're going to go ahead and remedy that with the marinade. Okay, I'm going to use about half of this. Save the other half for later. In reality, you can use any type of spices that you want in this because turkey is such a neutral meat. I mean, it's rich, but it has a neutral flavor after it's cooked. You can make this into anything. You can add sage to this. Garlic goes really well. Oregano, you can make this Italian style. You can use this in marinara to make spaghetti or put it in a meatloaf. It works well. Okay, 1/4 cup soy sauce. Half a cup of honey, which is about the rest of this jar. And you don't want to have your heat up too high because you don't want to burn that honey. So you want this over medium heat. Okay, and you want about a tablespoon or 2 of garlic to your liking. Now I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to add ginger. About a thumb's worth, about a 2-inch, about as big as your thumb. It's a little bit more, but I like ginger. I'm going to cube this up and add it. It may seem like a lot of ginger, but that's going to meld in with the garlic and the onions. And let's go ahead and add these. I'm leaving these in strips, and we're going to go ahead and lay these out in spring roll fashion. Okay, after it's all nice and warmed up and everything's melted together, taste test. Make sure it doesn't need anything. Always taste test. And then you want to let this cool for about 30 minutes or so. I mean, you don't want it to be completely cold. But whenever you're wrapping up in rice paper, you don't want to burn yourself. Okay, so after you've gone ahead and jarred up your meat, now I could have used 1 pint for this. I'm splitting this into 2 because turkey is not eaten on a normal basis in the United States. Some families do. Most families just eat it like once a year, kind of like watermelon. So I'm saving these separate meals. I have 2 meals with meat in it. I have 6 quarts of the turkey stock that I made, and then we're going to make spring rolls for dinner. All right. So these get processed for 75 minutes. Here in the United States, we do pressure canning. If you're water bathing these, which means you're boiling the jars, you're going to boil these jars for 3 hours. If you don't have access to a pressure canner. It's not the size of the jar that matters. It is the density of the food that's inside of it that matters. Because you want to get in, make sure that everything in the middle of this jar is processed thoroughly. Here is how you process your spring rolls. Whenever you get these, they come in sheets. They're pretty thick sheets. Okay, a little thicker than paper. But what you're going to do is, because you can't really roll these up or else they're going to crack. You're going to get a flat plate that's big enough. You're going to set that in there for about a second. And then you're going to drain. See how it's still kind of papery? But what's going to happen is that water that's on here is going to soften this up quickly. It will start bending. Okay, you do not want to leave it in the water. It's starting to become pliable and malleable and sticky. We're going to put in some of our noodles and bell pepper and meat. You can use any noodle you want. You can add bean sprouts. You can add regular spring onions. Anything that you want. You can add shrimp to this. This is just a fun way of getting rid of your turkey that doesn't involve sandwiches. You want to pull this over, the top over like this. Then you want to do the sides, just like a burrito. And I'm making a mess of this one. But that's okay, because in the long run, whenever I'm done with this, I have a spring roll. Okay, here's the last spring roll. I had to add an extra bell pepper to this, so I ran out. We're gonna go ahead and get everything done. Now this made 12 spring rolls. You can leave it like this and use it for lunch. Use your favorite dipping sauce. Just another idea of what to do with your leftover turkey, so that way it doesn't go bad. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you next time.